Revolutionary, front line standing, solitary, mind state, kinda scary. Take a deep breath, take a deep breath, and put me on the front line. 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 Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. Follow me until the end. Follow me if you can. Heart beating faster. Don't forget to breathe and put me on the front line. 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 Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested.
What is up, people? Let me turn that down. What is up, people? Alright, there we go. Let me know if this mic sucks complete ass, and I will switch over to my old one. Just trying this one out. I have no idea if it's going to sound like shit to you guys. But let me know. And then we'll definitely get into it. I just don't want you guys to have to be listening to this shitty ass mic if it is shitty. One of the things I definitely wanted to talk about was I don't believe anything you say, P-Mars. But though you could still be right. I mean, I can always check on my page, but I don't want to hear myself. I think that may be a little bit better right there. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and switch over real quick, guys, and use the other mic.
Alright, that should be so much better. Sorry about that, guys. I trying out a new mic, and I even got the settings down right, but you know, we'll see how that works out. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to get into the discussion, the reality of what's going on. So I was privy to a argument earlier this morning over at one of the servers, and I even tried to explain to somebody that this discussion between Flat Earth and Globe doesn't need to root any disrespect. It boggles my mind, because when I got to Flat Earth, when I found Flat Earth, when I still believed in the globe at the time, I literally was welcomed to talk to Flat Earthers at the time. And then I became a Flat Earther, and over the past, probably 2 months or so, it just seems like all hell has broke loose. Realistically, the quote-unquote Globers were always deemed as the fault, and nowadays it's pretty much both sides throwing, getting real personal. And for those of you guys who have subscribed to me for a while, you guys know I don't play like that. I have nothing to be disrespectful about. I completely get where I came from. For me, I'm fortunate enough to have people on my side to help me out, figure things out, and how things worked. So it's how it went. Um, it's it's something that has cleared my mind because now things make a lot more sense. At the same time, I still don't. I still feel that the opportunity for Flat Earth to explain um, what their observations are and how they see things the way they do, and you know understand it. Um, my main thing right now is is what I believe would be the first step, and that's a system. I believe, and I've talked to a couple people, so the definition does kind of skew, but my belief is you need observations that work together as a system, right? So there has to be overall more than one thing on a globe. There, you're right. There are holes. I get it. That's what science calls a phenomenon. They can't explain it. They're very open about not being able to explain it. But at the same time, I do understand what you're saying. They do keep a lot of crap under wraps, and I believe the biggest issue is they need to be more transparent. Are they going to? Doubt it. Um, so there's always shit to look into. Um, One of the things that I was preview to figure out was that President Trump ordered, making up this whole new space force. Unfortunately, we've had a space force since 1940. Don't believe me? I can prove every second of it. I got all the documents, everything from every platoon and what they did for NASA, what they did here and there. I have documents showing that the government paid the majority of the money for the Columbia shuttle to make sure that whenever they needed it for their shit was able to fit and be taken into space by that shuttle. Uh, a lot of people don't know that, but that's the reality of it. That's why I also believe that NASA is it's not a military entity, but they are. The same way Fort Knox isn't the federal government, but it is. You know, um, it's just I don't know exactly why they would do it, but it's what they're definitely doing. Um, but hey, let's get to the real nitty gritty. Just so you guys know, I have an open panel. If you guys want to jump on the panel, more than welcome. I would appreciate it if you didn't make me have to go start a new panel. But hey, luckily, uh, unlike a still unfortunate few, I do use the OBS, guys. Again, if you hadn't seen the upload um, that I just put out, it is the exact way to get the Hangouts that have all the the bells and whistles, the whole nine, everything on them. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're gonna have the options on the side. Everything's here. Watch the upload. It shows you exactly how, if you're using OBS, to set that up and have a safe hangout. Not have to be worried about being porn bombed. Um, so check that out, and then let's go ahead and I'll get that link out there right now. I see a lot of questions in the chat. No curve says, or free says no curve. Period. First, let's explain that. There is curve. I can explain it easily. Sasha, you should be up there. Let me see. Water at rest, always flat and level. What are you talking about? Okay, I actually just had this conversation. Water at rest. When can you show me water at rest? Because I had this conversation with somebody, and we went to the example of a water in a glass. Is that water at rest? Because that water still is exerting a pressure against that glass. So is that water at rest? Because as far as I'm concerned, with atmospheric pressures and gravity, the whole nine, water is never really at rest. There's underwater currents. It's be almost impossible. But hey, what do I know? One of the big things I'm working with right now is exactly that. I know you guys don't like it, looking up, but hey, it's the reality of it. It's the matter of how would the sun move above our heads? 3,000 miles away, 93 million miles away. Forget that. If it was flat Earth and the idea of how it moves around flat Earth is how you guys believe it is, then why aren't we observing that? Because one of the things, and I got a video right here, popped up, ready to go. One of the things is how are your observations of the sunrise and sunset based on flat Earth? I'm not saying don't explain it to me. I would love for you to explain it to me because that was actually one of the things that I didn't look into when I was a flat earther, but I'm starting to now. And the first thing I realized is that sun arcs across the sky. The only reason for it to go across our sky the way it does is if we're on a globe and we're rotating in the other direction. Now, there are little things here and there. What's up, P. Mars? How you doing, sir? What's up, sir? How you doing?
Talking nonsense. The Earth is flat.
It is not flat.
It looks flat.
Okay, well, you can look flat anywhere. It looks hilly some places. It looks valleys in other places. I mean,
You go out to the ocean, you look at the horizon, it's level and flat. And people, the only reason they think they're on a globe is the authority tells them that.
or our observations show us that.
Observations show it looks flat.
Okay, so can you explain how the sunrise and the sunset works, as in the angle of the sun as it goes through our sky?
Well, the objects in the sky, we're not sure what they are. Science acts like they know that they are planets, terrestrial objects, that these stars are made of gas. We can't verify any of that with the scientific method.
But is okay. So do you have evidence that would start you on the path of this is wrong?
Yes, we live in a scientific dictatorship where science manipulates data and lies to the people about the truth.
Okay,
So
but what about the
you
data
can't
that?
trust.
But what about the data we can check? Cause I try. I 100% agree. There's a lot of shady shit going on. The whole peer review thing isn't as said, but there are things that we can observe that we can look into ourselves and see if it's correct or not.
And that's what flat earthers have been doing, and that's a lot of the observations we've been making is that what the globe is telling us isn't the truth.
Like,
Looks like, well, they say we see all these mountains in the distance, and if you look at the curve calculator, you're not even supposed to be able to see them.
what does your curve calculator run on? What dimensions? Because the whole 8 inches per mile square, that's like a kindergarten method of explaining it. That's not how they really explain it, and it doesn't work. What's up, Free? How you doing, sir?
Bro.
Not much, just chilling. Want to have a nice, respectful conversation. You know how we do.
Yeah, you know me, man. I ain't
Oh yeah.
tripping.
Oh hell yeah. I'm not worried about you at all. So I mean, I know I saw you in there saying you were talking about a few things. Um, And I wish, I'm not the smartest man, so I wish I can answer all your questions. I obviously can't, but even if I can answer those questions, there's still other observations that we can talk about that I can answer, or I know you know a lot about it, but like P. Mars was just saying, when I was a flat earther, and I really based my idea of where we lived on that first thing P. Mars says, that when we look outside, and yes, that's pretty much one of the things that really made it concrete in my head, without realizing that just because my brain couldn't get the general idea of how large the Earth is, it really put a block in me understanding it. Over time, I started to understand how that does work, and then another thing I did is I started observing, and the observations that I make and the observations that a lot of people are making don't point towards flat Earth.
I mean, can you show us this? I mean, I've been looking.
Yeah,
I've been studying this,
absolutely. Okay.
man, for like 3 years, and I just haven't, me personally, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, I got a video that
Yeah.
I found on YouTube. The link's in the chat. This guy actually has a lot of good observations. I'm not 100% sure it's even a flat Earth, globe Earth guy, but more of just a guy that likes getting these time lapses. But I think it sums it up. On a flat Earth, the way it goes overhead every day,
Yeah.
and the
You
way,
talking about the sun?
yes, and then the way the globe explains it are two different things.
Right.
In a sense, that the rotation and the Cancer and Capricorn, all that's the same, but how it works is different. So I'll go ahead and share this real quick. And you guys will see it right there. All right, so when I watch that video, what I'm seeing is an arch, just the arch alone. Not even talking, the exact measurements. I'm not seeing something that would pass in front of my face and go around my shoulder.
Well, it doesn't always have to exactly do that,
Well,
unless the sun's not gonna always pass right above your head or something like that.
it's a different time of
I,
year,
I would,
but it
yeah.
should always, on a flat Earth, it should always
Mhm.
go over your right shoulder. If you're looking south, it's gonna go over your right shoulder because it's doing a circle rather than going behind the horizon. Not go that arch, not like it's going around a globe, but it would literally go around your shoulder.
But wouldn't that depend on where you're at on the Earth?
No, actually, or if you yeah, you're if you look at the equator and someone in the southern hemisphere looks at the equator, they're gonna watch it go up their off their left and ahead of them. It's gonna be running a circuit. So if you've seen a NASCAR, no matter where you stand in NASCAR, you still see that circuit. You can still see how the circuit works. But when the one thing that popped in my head was the sun set. The sun set does not do what it's supposed to do on flat Earth.
I mean, are you sure about that? I mean, to me, it looks perfectly explainable.
Okay, so
I
you're.
really think the sunsets and all that is kind of a straw man, but you know, we can talk about it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
really
whoa,
don't
whoa.
think it has
But why
nothing
is
to do
this?
with
Why is it a straw man? It's an observation. It's
That's an observation. I mean, 'cause actually, both of us really don't even know anything about the sun, man.
okay,
We want to
but
be truthful
okay.
with ourselves.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, you're 100% right. I cannot say I know through a study that I've been able to do, but
Yeah.
I gotta trust
Me neither.
something. And I'm not even saying
I mean,
fully
okay,
trust,
people
but
say I don't know.
there's
You know,
still
I have my thoughts about it, but
okay. Yeah, I know, I get it, but there's still you got to see where I'm coming from. Where it's I have one of the biggest things I was looking for are footsteps. I didn't need whole answers, explanations. I needed footsteps, something to work with, and it was real hard to do that, um, and to not acknowledge that the sunrise does not depict what a flat Earth sunrise sunset would be should be something to be questioned, not used as we don't know what the sun. Because if it's we don't know what the
I
sun
understand
is,
what you're saying.
your goal would be to understand what the sun is, right?
Right.
So, at what point why wouldn't they have done the same thing?
I mean, I know I have. I've looked into it, and I think a lot of it has to do with I think maybe a prerequisite before you even study about the sun is to study about um how your eyes work, perspective, and you know, diffraction limits and stuff like that. So that'll give you a more understanding of what's going on. You know, if you're using your eyes as tools, you know, you work with tools. You gotta learn. You gotta know how to use your tools, how your tools work.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of Glovers really don't know, or it appears that they don't really know how their eyes work and
Okay,
about
okay,
perspective and diffraction and refract, and you know, all of that
okay. But
that
so
goes along with that.
here's the thing. So I'm kind of doing it as we speak, but I have
Right.
I have photos I want you to look at then, because I was having a conversation with a flat earther in the debate flat earth and more debate server, and
Uh-huh.
um, he was saying, and Jose was there. Jose shared with him a picture that he had. He had taken of a tower. So let me get that pop. Got to pull it up right now. And what the guy said was, well, let me get the picture up so you guys can have a better understanding of what I'm even talking about. Where did I put it? But basically, okay, so oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. But this is the original picture that Jose had posted. Get that up there. All right, go to pictures. Nope, that's Lodi Bong. Oh, great. Well, you guys get to look at it like this for a second. Or actually, I can just flip it around. There we go. All right, so this is the picture that he had posted. This is the tower from an elevated spot, and then go ahead and get the other picture. And then he shows it in progression. But basically, what you guys are going to see in a second is that tower basically is, I think it was 200 something feet tall, and you're not seeing that from the image. And the guy said that the reason it's not the curve that you're looking at is because the picture is compressed. And the problem with what he was saying is that compressed or not, and there it is, perfect. So this is the other image. So this is the image that he saw. He said the reason this light tower, or you guys can't see it. I apologize.
Yeah, yeah, I can't see it.
Let me go do it
There
this
you go.
way. I can share my OBS screen. Okay, Okay, so the image that we're looking at right now, this is the original image of what he had taken a picture of. The light tower. Don't 100% remember the distance, but it is far. I know that light tower, he said, was 10 miles off the shoreline. So it does give us enough time that it would be going over the horizon, over the curve. And the guy said the reason it's doing this isn't because of the curve, it's because the picture is being compressed. Now, the issue that I have with him saying that it's being compressed is that within seconds, I went over and hang on 1 second. I went over there and I got to my computer and I did exactly that. I compressed the shit out of that picture. I did it about 4 times. And this is it right here. Go ahead and end this one so you guys can see it. Alright, so this is the compressed picture. And here is the problem. So that's not compressed. The issue is that when it's compressed, oh shit, I'm not even sharing it again. God damn it. Alright. There we go. So these images, right? He said the first image, the bigger one, the one you're showing, is the compressed image. And so I compressed it, and we'll compare it to the, there you go. So that's the non-compressed image. That's the original. See how there's still 4 stripes in both pictures on the tower?
Yeah, I see what you did wrong.
What would I do wrong, though?
It doesn't. It compresses from the bottom up. Like it's not a. You can't just compress the whole picture.
Why not?
You know,
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the problem. I actually compressed that from the bottom of the picture up. I can do it right now.
It looks like it's pretty evenly compressed. The whole.
Absolutely. I kept the same. I made sure I did it in 3 increments. I did the original.
Right.
I did it at 50% compressed, and I did it to 25% compressed or compression. So right now, what you're looking at right now is a 25. So that's more than half. The picture is more than half is compressed. The issue is when it's compressed, no matter if it's the bottom or the top, it can you. Oh, okay, my volume's low again. I hate when I do that. You guys, I know you guys can hear me on the Hangout, but they can't hear me over there. All right, sorry about way too much. There you go. So when it's compressed, you're not losing any of the effect. You're 100% getting all you're doing is literally just compressing it. 4 stripes. That building, and believe it or not, I did the measurements on it. I did my little measurement on Pixel. The pixel size, the ratio of the difference of the size, everything lines up with being the same image, just compressed.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, did you compress the top of that building the same way you compressed the bottom of it?
No.
Really, it's
I
the
literally,
angle of the light. It's the angle that the light is coming towards you. Right, at the top.
Wait, hang on. I literally compressed this image from the bottom. Did not compress it down at all. And the light isn't gonna give me, because remember, the one on the right is what I did, right?
Right.
So take that one off, and this is what is being seen. I don't know which one it is. Hang on. There you go. This is what's being seen. His reason for what we're seeing right now is compression. Compression is completely different. There's 2 complete different observations being seen.
Okay, and it looks like there's stuff in front of the tower, right?
Rocks, a shoreline. Yeah, there's about 10 miles between that shoreline and the tower.
Yeah, so that's gonna block part of the tower also. It's
But
gonna
okay, but
appear bigger than the tower
it's
that's further in the background.
it's not going to block out 158 feet of tower though. That's that house right there. That house is not 100 feet tall. That that berm would have to be 100 feet tall to block out that much, and that house would have to be 100 feet tall to be as high as that berm.
I mean, do you know how far away the house is from like the tower is behind the house, right? It's kind of blurry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can't see a house.
That tower, the tower is about 10 miles behind anything you see in that image right now.
Yeah, so the house is gonna appear. It's gonna appear bigger than what's further behind it due
Okay,
to perspective and angle size.
okay, but it's not going to. You're not going to lose. It's going to have, if anything, it will have that compressed feature, that compressed observation. But again, you're
Yeah,
not losing.
not at the same rate. You know what I'm saying? Not at the
100%.
same rate as things behind it.
Again, yeah, absolutely. When you compress what your observation gets smaller. You don't lose any of that observation. It's all still there. It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. It doesn't
But it depends
completely
on
disappear.
how far away it is.
I can say right now, this image that we're seeing right now, there's no way for 158 feet of tower, or we'll say 130 feet of tower, to be gone for no reason because it's far further away. I see what
I
you're
mean,
saying. I see what you're
I
saying,
see what
but
you're saying.
that tower,
I do see what you're saying.
that tower,
And I will. Go ahead.
that tower would look like a pencil right now if it was what you're explaining. It's the distance that does that. It'd look like a pencil, but we'd still see that. We'll still see the size of it compared to its scale size. But right now, what we're looking at is not the same thing as this. It just doesn't. It's not the same thing. This is exactly what happens. It gets smaller, but in proportion to itself. But and you don't lose anything. When
You
I'm
start to compress at the bottom,
matter of fact, like I can.
progressively more than what at the top.
What do you mean?
It's the same way like when you
Look,
look
see
down a
how.
long hallway.
See, look. What I'm doing right now. What is it?
Yeah.
That literally is exactly what you would see. It gets bigger as you get closer, and it gets smaller as it goes away, but you're not losing any of it.
You're not losing any of the stripes.
Yeah, you're not losing stripes. You're not losing building. It's staying proportionate to the
This
scale.
is a good example because it can't be compressed, because then you would still see all the stripes.
Yes.
No, I mean, we got to look at what you did now. That picture you did is on a computer.
Yes.
Okay. The
It
one
wasn't.
that
Wait.
that's
The
real life.
picture I
Real
did.
life,
Hang
it
on.
has-
The
it has
the
everything involved with it. It got perspective.
hang on. The picture
has
that.
diffract-
But this picture,
But-
I literally took this picture from Discord from when Jose posted it. I took it from there straight to my GIPS photo editor. Went right to compression, and all I did was move the two bottom corners up in 3 increments. That was it. There's nothing else done. This is literally a compressed image, nothing else. And it's this image. Where is it? It's that image right there. That image is the exact same thing. We know this because you're not losing anything. Nothing in here is gone. It's just compressed.
I know because it's not a real picture.
It is.
Make
It's
that
it.
picture.
No. It's see the picture you're looking at. That picture.
The one on the right, the small picture. Yeah, you.
No.
you just, like,
Okay.
punch
The
holes.
picture. No, the picture that's showing right now. That picture is the picture that Jose put in the chat, correct? Or in the
Talking about
Discord
the
chat.
real picture.
Yes, right now, the one that's right on the screen. Okay.
Right.
This image that I made, and I said I made 100%, is that picture with the bottoms up, compressed up. That's it, 75%. That's
Well,
the
I guess what I'm trying to say, you compress the whole picture evenly.
yes.
It wouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
That's not how it works.
Okay,
Why
so
would it matter? You're still seeing
yeah,
4 stripes.
that
That's
pic.
not perspective.
Why would it matter?
Things will start to disappear from the bottom up,
Yes.
right? Due to
Oh, so you're saying
perspective.
stripes
I
started
guess,
disappearing?
and one of the real question is, what do you think the horizon is?
The horizon
You
is
think
the
it's
horizon
physical?
is you not being able to see over the hill.
I mean, do you think it's physical, or is it just something that your brain kind of
It's your brain. It's 100% your
Right.
brain because you can't see over the curve. Just like when you're coming up on a hill and you're driving in your car, you can't see over that hill. You can't see the bottom of the hill until you get
Your
up on
horizon
it.
line is as far as you can see.
Yeah. And
Was that
until you
Sasha?
until you
Okay.
can't
Yeah,
see
but, okay.
over that curve. That's your horizon.
Now you say now the horizon. Do you think the horizon is something physical? I think that's the problem.
I
Said that.
I would say it's it's not, it can't be physical. You can't touch it, but you can see it. It's like saying, can you see around a corner, around a wall? That's what you're asking me. You can't physically see around a wall. You can't physically see the horizon, or it's not physical, but you can see it. The same way when you look around a corner to see around that wall, you can't see around that corner, around that wall, because you physically, your eyes cannot see around the wall. Well, you can't see over the curve. So that curve is the horizon. Right when your eyes stop seeing what's out there because of the curve, that's your horizon. That's what the horizon is.
Because the ground is blocking it. Is that
No,
what you're
no,
saying?
no, no.
Ground?
Because the curve of the earth is dropping.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
dropping.
There is no ground to block it.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this question though. So if you look down a long hallway, is the ground and the ceiling physically ramping up and down, or is that just a figment of your mind?
Okay,
making it
that's
look
perfect. Okay, so it looks like it's kind of pointing up, correct?
Right.
Okay, that's a flat hallway. That's not what you see when you're looking out at the horizon.
This is exactly what you see.
No, it's
it's
not.
the same.
No,
Eyes
it's
are
not,
working the
'cause you
same
can't see
way,
it,
whether
Sean.
you're looking down a hallway or looking
And
outside.
and not to mention
No,
a hallway. Go
the
ahead.
distance you're seeing is a lot different. In a hallway, you're only seeing
A few,
maybe
yeah, 30
feet-
feet at the
a
very
few,
best.
maybe 50 meters.
Well,
Yeah.
When you're
imagine if
outside,
the hallway was a mile
you're
long.
seeing
What
miles.
would you see?
Where are you gonna find a hallway that's a mile long?
I said imagine. You gotta imagine.
Okay, okay, no, yeah, we can imagine that. But if
Right.
we're imagining that, where's your observation to say that's what it does at a mile?
I mean, you've seen the picture of hallways where
But we haven't. No, wait.
wall will
But wait,
appear to
we
rise up, the
we
ceiling will
haven't.
appear to come down. Even the sides will appear to converge to the center.
Yeah, but we
No,
did.
it's
We
perspective.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
hang on,
The
hang
sides
on.
will
You
always
said
converge
you
to the
said.
The
center.
hallway,
Hang on,
the
free,
more it's gonna go
free,
in and down and up
free.
towards
You
the vanishing point.
your exact words were, let's imagine. So if we're imagining a mile-long hallway, how can you say what the observation would be?
Wait, Sean. Can we bring up a different point first? He said they converge to the center. On a flat Earth, it's converging to the top. Is
To the top.
the bottom's disappearing first?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we talking about the sky. being
What's up,
involved
Seek?
and
How you
not-
doing, my
Right.
friend?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Well,
Good, good.
What's going on?
Sorry to cut you off. I just want
but
to say
when
what's
you're
up.
observing, like say over water, and you got the sky above your head and the sky to the left and right of you, it's different than. I mean, he's bringing you to the hallway, but the hallway, like you said, it was converging left and right and from the top. I mean, the sky is kind of doing that, but you're talking about something
But what
that's
you're saying is perspective would deem that the bottom of the hallway would disappear before the top
right.
of the
When you're
hallway.
making
However-
observations out in the real world, it's you're only seeing the bottom rise up. But
Okay, so wait,
Yeah.
wait. I have a question. You say things disappear from the bottom up. What happens if I
Right.
stand on my head? Will it start disappearing from the top down?
if you're closer to the ceiling, it will appear to disappear towards the ceiling. It's all about your field of view.
right.
All about your field of view.
Exactly, but in the real world, when you observe it, the closer you get to the the ceiling of something. It doesn't start disappearing from the top up. It
Well,
starts.
the nature of the sky and the ceiling is different. You
Right.
understand?
The same way the nature of our horizon is different than a hallway.
Not really.
Absolutely.
mean,
Yes, it is
that's
because you
what
don't
you're
have
looking
a
at.
the different setting.
Completely.
How's it a different setting? I mean, if that's a different. You got a ceiling, and you got walls.
Well, you got distant. Like I said,
Outside,
we don't.
you don't have a ceiling.
But the thing is, we don't need to imagine a 3.5 mile horizon line either. We can see that.
All I'm saying is you're not getting the same like effect that you would in the hallway, like with the walls converging and the ceiling converging,
Mhm.
but the floor is converging, and that's the rise that you see and the bottom of things disappearing first is the
But that's doesn't.
bottom
That,
converging up to your perspective.
but that doesn't happen outside of a hallway. So in a hallway, it may appear to do that, but that's not how it works. I mean,
So you don't think things in the foreground when you're talking about distance and looking at things in the distance.
Mhm.
You don't think that things in the foreground are taking up the bottom of things at a distance?
what distance?
Well, I'm talking about long range distance. I'm not putting any number on it.
So
I'm just saying
so we're talking,
long
like,
range
for instance, the
distance,
boat,
looking at
like a
things.
boat going over the horizon situation.
Right.
Okay, when here's it's literally the same thing we
water
were
in
just
the
talking about.
foreground is
If
going to take up the bottom of the thing as it goes off in the distance.
again, but it would be just like the compressed image. It would be in proportion to itself. So that means as it got further away, it would get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it would start losing the bottom. It
Well,
when
I think both things are going on because you
it's not
have something that you're okay. So say you were standing in the like you ever seen when they like white out a room and you don't really have a bottom. If you don't have a bottom, that and something was moving away from you, and you don't have a bottom or sides or a wall, it's just all white. That is when you will see the convergence go, and it'll just shrink and it'll disappear. But both things are going on. As something moves away from you, the bottom is disappearing and it's getting smaller as it moves away from you in distance.
okay. So, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but in the image that I was just showing, right? It's clear. If what you're saying is how it worked, we shouldn't be seeing what we're seeing. We should see, basically, we should be looking at like a, let me see. Which
And
one
now
is
I
it?
want to say this too. I brought up the hallway. I was just trying to, that conversation was going along with what the horizon was.
Yeah.
You guys were kind of
Exactly.
thinking it was something physical, right? Like the
Okay,
actual
So-
curvature is
It-
blocking
it's
something. But
basic-
I was just showing you
Well,
when you
wait,
look at a
well,
hallway, is the
hang on.
floor actually ramping up, or is that just something that happens in your brain?
It happens in your brain because of the ceiling, because of those walls, everything that is so enclosed.
Well, I was just pointing towards the ceiling. I mean, the floor. So why would that not happen out? You go outside.
Right. Why wouldn't the same thing happen?
Because it's the same
With-
for the
with
same
same
reason.
water.
The distance, the fact that it's not, your eyes aren't being trained on a wall and a ceiling, and it's the same reason you don't feel claustrophobic when you're outside, but you can in a room.
All I'm saying is that thought experiment that he has with the long hallway, the way I think about it in my head, you're going to start disappearing from the bottom first before you converge into a small dot and I can't see you anymore.
really? Because if you're standing in the center of the hallway, then your head would be closer to the top. So wouldn't the ceiling be disappearing first, according to your reasoning?
Depends on how high the ceiling is. But the point was to
How is the ceiling? Hold on, Freeman.
What?
Sorry. How
What?
is the ceiling closer to my head in respect to the floor being closer to my feet? How do you see that?
The ceiling is closer to your eyes than the floor is to your eyes. So the ceiling should be disappearing first, according to your logic.
Well, in a long
the-
hallway, it may.
Objects should be disappearing
what you're
from
trying to
top
say.
down.
Yeah,
I see
that's
what
why
you're
I feel
trying
like
to say.
ample,
But in a mile-long hallway, we wouldn't observe that. We would observe objects still disappearing from the bottom up because of curvature. If you build a
But the hallway's
mile-long
not
hallway,
curving though.
if
See,
you
that's what I was trying to get to because of curvature. So you thinking the horizon is something
Here,
physical?
guys, so I got it here. I'm gonna share it right now. There's our hallway. It's exactly like Sasha just said. When you look down
Yeah.
that hallway, you lose the roof first and then the bottom. So
Okay, because your head is closer to the roof.
your head's closer to the roof. So you're telling me the ceiling gets lower?
No,
I
what
mean,
he's
doesn't
saying
that-
is, yeah, I mean, we're talking about the sky. I mean, why would you think the sky is going to do the same
you,
thing
you
that
can go
maybe
up
a
in an
ceiling will do?
airplane.
You,
In an if you're up in an airplane, things still disappear from the bottom first, even though you're closer to the ceiling.
No, you're not. The sky.
That's
I
called
mean,
a
you got miles and miles of atmosphere above you.
Yeah, how
Come on,
far
bro.
does the sky go up?
Yeah, but you're above the object.
You're
If you're above a boat, so say if you're on ground level, then yeah, the boat would disappear at bottom first. But if you're above the boat, shouldn't it disappear?
Well, wait, all we're
Top
saying
first?
is that, like you're saying,
No,
the
if
ceiling
you're
would
standing
obstruct.
on a hill,
The sky's not going to obstruct anything. What's the sky
No,
going to
no,
obstruct?
listen.
Nothing,
If you
right?
are standing on a hill and there's a boat going away from you, you are looking down on the boat. So shouldn't the top disappear first because your head is closer to above the boat than below the boat?
What's gonna obstruct the top of the boat to make it disappear? What's gonna obstruct that? The sky?
Well, what obstructs it? What would obstruct it to make it disappear
The water.
going down? The
obstruct it.
water? But
Yeah.
you're looking down on it. There's no water in between you and the boat. Unless there's curvature.
I'm just saying there wouldn't be any obstruction going on at the top of it. What's gonna obstruct it?
There wouldn't be any obstruction on the bottom either.
I disagree.
Yeah, I
And
kind of.
what if you're
Okay.
looking down on something, there's no something if you're looking down at a object sitting on a table, the table's not obstructing that object.
So if that person, say he was going over a curve in the hallway, say you start rising, what do you expect to see then?
What do you mean?
If he's going over a curve, that curve has to gradually keep going, fall. So if you start rising, if he's going over a curve, if I start rising, what would I expect to see?
Well, you would see all of him because he's still in your vision when you're on the ground, but if he was farther away and half of him was half his legs were like on this picture. Pretend that was the boat. If you go up, you will start to see more of the boat.
Yeah.
Because there's less water obstructing you. You guys are saying obstructing, but the only way it would be obstructing you is if there's curvature, and so the
No.
water's actually physically in your way.
yeah, because
No,
you
all I'm saying
because
is
because
that
what's said is
water-
because what's
Hold
said
on,
is
hold on.
you know, what's said is that right now you're saying that if we zoom in, that boat will come back.
Oh.
No, you're gonna zoom in on water. That's what you're gonna zoom.
So,
Mostly water.
well,
You're
why
gonna
is there water between the bottom of the boat and me? Because of curvature.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why is there water?
You say if we zoom in, we will see water. Why would we see water? On a flat Earth, we should see the bottom of the boat. But
Why
since
would you
there's-
see that?
Because
When you
we would
zoom
see
in,
the,
they moving closer. It's just making the picture bigger. It just
No.
magnifies the picture, which you can already see.
But then where does the boat coming back
Not
into
like you move
vision
forward.
come? But well, Flat Earth says the boat's supposed to come back because it's not going over
Oh,
a
it doesn't.
curve.
It doesn't.
Okay, so you're saying it doesn't bring it back.
you're saying flat Earth's wrong.
That's not.
Well,
what
hold
I'm
on,
talking
hold on. Y'all
about.
just brought up a random picture. Y'all not really showing like.
You're right. It's random.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
really
it looks
showing.
like he's real close to the water. Like he's real low.
Okay.
That's a
and my
sailboat.
Hold
point
on.
is
Let
if-
me ask. Yeah, Fremont
is
is
if
right.
you-
That
if you
water
go
that you're
up-
seeing right there is in the foreground. That is
If you-
obstructing
my point is if you
part
go
of
up,
the view.
Okay,
of that boat.
why is it? How is
Can I
it?
address my
How
point?
is it obstructing?
Because
I
things
mean,
in the foreground.
What?
You're talking about looking at things in the distance, things in the foreground.
But
things
remember,
at the bottom.
wait. Water's is level. It's always level. Doesn't go
He's
curl over a
above the
ball.
water right now. Regardless of how close
He's
he is to
on
the
the
water,
water.
he's above it.
No, he's on the water. So how does that sailboat float underwater like that? You know how a boat works.
What
man.
do you mean float underwater?
Okay.
Why are you saying
Okay.
that?
So is that boat under? Is it more of it underwater than normal? How
Go ahead.
how
Go ahead,
is
Suzanne.
how is more than half
If I
that boat?
sail over to that boat, if I go over to that boat and I'm standing right next to it, will I be able to see the bottom of the ship?
Of course.
If you filmed it the whole way, that's the question.
Okay.
Now, if he rises up, more of that boat is going to be visible because less of his field of view being blocked.
What's blocking it? If you're looking down at a table,
The angle of the angle, it's just the angle of light, like the angle of attack that the light is hitting you. It's not nothing physical. Your eyes are doing this. It's not anything physical.
Wait.
no,
Wait,
he's looking
how
down.
are your eyes
he's looking
doing
down at the
this?
water.
How are your eyes doing this?
That's what I'm saying. You would have to really start researching how your eyes work.
No. Wait.
Good series on this just recently,
I've
and it really
actually
explains
I've actually have done that,
what is going on.
and I get what you're saying because there are patterns on Earth that they have done studies on that say a vast amount of people see the Earth, world, reality differently. And it's not crazy, it's how their brains interpret the world. But everybody on my live stream, on this panel, sees half of a sailboat. We all know that sailboats float on top of that water.
How far is the boat away?
I don't know. It doesn't
shouldn't
matter. It
All
doesn't
right,
matter.
well, it doesn't matter. We're making an observation. Hold on. We're making
Go
an
ahead.
observation, but it doesn't matter how long.
No, it shouldn't
how
matter
far away-
because you were looking down at the water, so the object resting on top of the water should be fully visible since you're looking down at the water, not up.
How
through
are
the
you looking
water.
down the water?
God, but hang on.
You are above the physical level of the water.
It doesn't
So
look like
that
that to
water
me.
is
It looks like that water line is half of the picture.
It is. Because he's got half of that boat.
And you got waves. It looks real choppy.
It looks
Hey.
pretty level to me. It looks
Yeah.
pretty
A lot of
calm
things going on.
compared to
I mean,
it
if you-
distance.
Sean,
think
pull up a
that's
picture. Sean, pull up a picture of like the bridges disappearing over the horizon
Hey, give me 1 second.
because they don't like the choppy waters.
You better not throw that pasta train on there. That's come on now. Now, Sasha, do you think that is that water physically ramping up?
No.
So, so what is?
So what you're seeing is water blocking the boat. The water is physically in between your eyes and the bottom of that boat because of curvature. The boat has gone over the curve.
Or is it just perspective? Now, when you say because of the curve, do you know how far the boat is? And does that match the curvature rate that should?
If
that
I
we
knew
should
how
be
tall the
seeing?
boat was, I'm sure I could calculate it.
Well, you need to do that before you make a claim, right?
Hey, if the
That,
boat,
that should match your curvature calculator.
Wait,
right?
no, it's not going to because it's just a number like that. There's offsets. There's different ways it works. It does not work just 8 inches per square mile at all. It never has,
That
never
looks,
will.
that looks a lot more than 8 inches.
You're right. At different spots, it's different everywhere.
Or if your observation doesn't match your curvature math,
It's not.
Then what
See,
does that
again, it's
Well, the
there is not a
curvature-
set
the
number.
curvature
The
map-
reason it's the way it is there are offsets. So what happens is I can start my count, but I know at 200, excuse me, at every 800 feet, 900 feet, there is a within a tenth of an offset that I have to add to my numbers based on a mean line. There's no way around that. That's 100% why that 8 inches per square mile is BS. It's like I said earlier, it's literally the kiddie version of how you explain how big the Earth is.
The curvature calculator is an average of curvature everywhere, as if the Earth were a perfect sphere. We all know that the globe model portrays a oblate. How do you say that? Oblate spheroid.
There you go.
Oblate
That's bigger
spheroid.
below the equator. Yep.
So it's bigger at the equator. So the curvature is different at the equator than at the North Pole. Does that make
so
sense?
now-
So that
so now
curvature
for me-
calculator, is simply an average, is what Sean's trying to say.
Right. So I would like to know, is that even close to the average?
Yeah, 3.5 miles is where the curve should, I guess, start. I can say I guess because I have not done it over the ocean, and I said this. I've asked this question, and this is one of the other reasons I asked if I go out into a meadow that it happens to be 6 miles clear, straight, flat. Will I have a horizon? And everybody
Yes.
said there will be a horizon. Why? Because at a certain point, 6 miles, it's going to be going over the curve.
So on a flat Earth, that assume we're on a flat Earth. You're
Mhm.
saying there would be no horizon?
No. Your horizon,
No horizon.
your horizon would be as far.
disagree
Your
with that.
horizon would be as far as anybody could see.
This
Not
goes back to what Fremont said.
okay,
What is
but
the
here's a
horizon?
problem. Here's a problem
What-
though.
what-
Here's a problem.
What do you think the horizon is?
Here's a problem.
You-
I
you-
can
No, no,
show
no,
you.
no, no.
No.
Curvature,
Hang on.
but-
Hang on.
You want to hear
I
what the
can-
horizon is?
I can 100%
horizon?
show you right now why that is not how it works. Because I have a picture.
Can I answer his question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
pull it
Is
up while you're
that,
doing
is
that.
So,
that
wait,
water
no,
line
no,
right
no.
there? Is
Let's
that
sit.
the horizon? Is
On
that
the flat
horizon?
Earth, you should be able to zoom in as far as you can, and you would still be able to see
That-
the object.
That's my point I was making, that most Globers don't understand perspective and how your eyes work. That's the whole problem. That's the
The
problem.
problem is, even
What you just
if you
said
zoom
tells-
in, if a boat is in Australia, you're not going to be able to see it from the
Look, I
US
can
because it's
put
on
it
the
simple
other
like
side
this.
of the globe.
That boat's
Even if
going
you-
over a curve, right?
Yes.
or no? Is
Yes.
the water going over a curve too?
Yes.
Why isn't the water flowing? If
What do
it's
you mean?
It's
Can
not
you
going to
practically
flow.
show me water, going over a curve like that, not flowing?
Do you know what the problem with that is? The problem with you guys asking me to demonstrate water sticking to a globe is
can't
it
do
would
it.
have to
That's
it
the
would have to
Can't do it.
be its
It'd be-
own
yeah.
no, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm
It is.
saying
It is
I'm not
impossible.
saying it's
You can't do
impossible. I'm saying it's impossible to demonstrate it on the surface of the Earth because there's a big object called the Earth, which is
So it's
which has gravity. So if you tried
what
to
you're saying-
demonstrate it on an object while on the Earth, you wouldn't be able to demonstrate it because of the Earth's gravity.
So
So in a nutshell, you're saying you can't prove your claim.
hang on. How about this? That boat, you can go out to the beach and do it yourself. We know at 3.5 miles that boat is going to start disappearing. Why? Because of the horizon. You asked me what would be the difference on a flat Earth, and I said you'd be able to see far, a lot further than we're able to see now. And here's the reason we know that's a curve, because you would be able to see that boat just as easy as you're able to see. Or let me go ahead and share it real quick. I gotta share the OBS again because I got it up on there. You'd be able to see this image right here. Get it pulled up for you guys. This image you guys are looking at that's 48 miles. You should be able to see so far past that boat, the sailboat. You should be able to see so far past that sailboat. If it was flat, it'd be
Looks
ridiculous.
kinda foggy
Oh,
to me.
come on, man. The elevation is different.
Yeah, 100%. I'm 2,000
Looks
feet
like
up
some
in
atmospheric
that picture. I'm
Oh, so
2,000.
you're saying atmosphere is blocking it now?
Look. I'm 2,000
What are
feet.
you
That
trying to
all goes
see?
into
I
it,
can't
though.
see
Wait,
what you saying. A boat?
Wait,
So I'm
wait,
supposed
see, you
to
can
see a
find.
boat?
So basically, what you're saying. So from what I understand, is you're saying the atmosphere difference between right above the ocean and the top of that mast is so different that there's more atmosphere blocking the bottom of the boat so that you can't see it than atmosphere blocking the top of the boat. Is
Are
that
you
what
looking
I'm
at the same
understanding?
picture that I'm looking at?
No,
well, where
I
should you
just
see that?
changed it. Hang on, I'm going back right now. So he's
It's
talking. So this picture right now, he's saying, is that the same situation basically, right? If I'm not saying it wrong, as this. Is this the same situation?
No,
Absolutely
it's not, because your field of view is wider.
Okay, but here's
You're
no,
higher
here's the
elevated.
thing. Here's the thing. You're kind of going around it. What
No,
is
I'm not. You're
blocking?
not
Hang on.
understanding. We
What's
can go back
blocking
to
that boat?
the hallway thing,
Wait,
man.
what's blocking that
The
boat?
hallway has 4 walls. Does this picture have 4 walls or just 1 wall? Okay, so the 1 wall is rising. The other walls, if they were present,
Nope,
would be
those
doing the same
the
thing.
walls
but
are
they're
the
not
walls look
present.
the same, but the ceiling, like Sasha said earlier, the ceiling is going away before
Okay.
the bottom,
Alright.
which is the exact opposite of what we have on a globe.
Okay.
I mean, it is. Where does
I don't get
anything?
how that ties into it.
Well, because you just
So
brought it
what
back
I'm
to the
saying is,
hallway.
if you go stand on a hill, and you look down at the ocean, and there's a boat that isn't taller than that hill, that boat will still disappear over the curve. On a flat Earth, that's not physically possible. Not with eye perspective, not with anything. The only way that would work on a flat Earth is magic, because a boat cannot if you're looking down at the boat should start disappearing from the top down.
You keep
Not from the
saying you
bottom
looking
up.
down at the boat.
If
but
you
from
got
this
if you
view,
raised
when
your
I'm looking
elevation,
at, you're not
Sean,
looking
pull
down
up-
at anything.
Sean, can you pull up a picture of somebody standing
yeah,
on a hill,
so I'm doing right
taking
now.
a picture of the ocean and a boat in that?
When you're higher elevated, you have a wider field of view.
And no, because if that boat's still disappearing over the horizon, there's no way that's possible on a flat Earth.
Sasha, what is the horizon?
The horizon is as far as you can see.
The horizon is where the sky and the ground appear to meet.
It's
It's
as
an
far as
It, no,
you
it's
can see.
it's as far as you can see over the curve. Period.
Oh, can somebody Google?
No,
What?
it's as far as you can see. It's as far as you can
tell me
see.
the definition?
If I can see the wall,
What do you want me to Google?
it's
Horizon.
Yeah, the definition, right?
Yeah,
what
let's see
definition?
what the definition is.
The definition of horizon.
Cause we skipping it, like we don't stay on one thing. Let's get this
Okay.
figured out first.
Nope, wrong one.
The definition of horizon is the
Jeez.
line at which the Earth's
Go ahead.
the limit of a person's mental perception, experience, or no, that's a different definition. Wait, the sun,
No, that's it.
line
It's
at
a
which
false
the Earth's
horizon. That's what it is.
surface and the sky appear to meet.
Okay, appears to meet.
It's just which is as far as you can see.
Okay, appears to meet, but it's not really. It's not a physical thing.
No,
Right.
no,
Okay,
it's not a
that-
physical thing. It's as
All
far as
right,
you can
all right,
see.
let's-
If you go to that point where your horizon line is, just say you're standing on top at the ocean. If you go to where the horizon is from where you were standing on the ocean, you will now have a new horizon line.
Right.
But
Now-
you can
now,
see farther than that, right? If your field of view was wider, you could see farther than that horizon line.
Hey,
it's
Sean.
appearing
Yes.
to say.
Sean, can you get that picture of somebody standing on a hill taking a picture of a boat?
I am.
Because that
looking
has
for it.
nothing to do with field of view. That just has to do with where you are in position to how big the boat is.
And another thing on this picture you're showing, Sean, we don't even know how far is he zooming in. How far is he from that?
Right. Right.
Is he on a boat himself? Like where?
How would that change? How would that change? How would that change it?
Field of view. Field of view.
Field of view.
Yes, you have a limited angle when you're, say, standing on the beach, as opposed to standing on a hill like you're trying to go to. You will have a wider field of view on that hill than you would at the beach, looking at something linear that is in the distance.
My point is that even if you are on a top of a hill, on a flat Earth, you should, because of your field of view, you should be able to see the whole boat.
The same thing in this picture is going on as like in the hallway.
Absolutely
and
not.
I remember,
It's in-
I
no,
remember
So
learning
sure,
this.
the
let's say
hallway-
that you are closer to the Earth than you are to the top of the sailboat height-wise. Okay? So in that case, yes, the bottom would disappear first. Now let's go to a picture where you are at a higher elevation than
Right.
the top of the mast. Then the boat should appear to disappear from the top down. Correct?
Why? No,
You got it wrong.
absolutely not.
Hang on
Why
one
not?
second. I am.
Would be obstructing the top
range.
of the boat. There's nothing
What
to
would be obstructing the bottom if you're looking down What should be obstructing the bottom?
You're seeing it.
The water.
The water. The water's below it. The water's not in front of it. The water's below it.
Exactly. But what does it look like? Like when you look at this picture, the water is
Hang on.
at your eye level, right?
The water's between it because of curvature. How hard can it be?
So that water is physically ramping up.
No.
No,
So that's not a physical thing you're seeing.
you're looking
right?
over
That's
the
what
Well, it
curve.
is a physical thing. It's not ramping up linearly. You're trying to make it sound like a ramp. It's not a linear ramp. It's a curve.
And remember, that flat hallway went down. That roof, you lost the top first before you lost the bottom. If it was that was the case, like I was saying earlier, it would get tiny, it would get smaller way before you lost it from the bottom. It would become an ant before you lost the bottom.
No, see that's a misunderstanding right there.
I can
Not true.
I can show you right now. I can make a picture and zoom in and zoom out, and you'll see what it should look like on a flat Earth, and you don't see that on
You said
a.
make a
Look
picture.
at it, Sean.
No. I can get a
Get a sheet
picture
of paper.
and
Get a
zoom it
sheet
in
of
and out.
paper.
That's it. That's all you
Get a
gotta
sheet
do.
of paper. Draw an X from corner to corner. Do that.
And well, the problem with this, Sean, is they're going to deny it regardless. 'Cause
No, we're gonna talk it
you're
out.
showing them pictures, not taking them to the actual location.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is no matter what, you guys have to explain how half of that sailboat is doing that. Okay, so here you go. There's your X. What do you want me to do? And it don't look
Put a
straight.
ceiling. Put a ceiling line.
No, there's no ceiling line. The top
Oh,
quadrant
okay. So you're
is
saying
like the sky.
okay. So the top's like the
say
sky.
like the left and the right are like building.
Are do those lines have the same slope?
Yeah, it just looks like that because of my screen. Hang on.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't draw it.
Yeah,
like you did.
no. I did. It's just it doesn't fit. Damn, guys, you have no faith. It doesn't. It just doesn't match because of the screen. Hang on a second. I can do this better. So you guys can stop making fun of my perfect picture. There it is. There you go.
I think you're misunderstanding that there's nothing to obstruct the top of things when you're talking about an observation
But if the
over
ob-
water
if
and
the-
you have the
no.
sky above your head.
you're
what is
not
gonna obstruct the
understanding
top?
that if the obstruction is below the thing, then it shouldn't obstruct it. Why would something obstruct? It's flat Earth relies on a lot of common sense, but why would an object below an object obstruct that object? Why would the water below a boat obstruct the boat? Perspective. But what you're saying obstructing, but there's nothing in between it. There's nothing to obstruct.
The volume of the water in the
The
foreground.
volume
is
of the water,
between
how does
you
that
and
have
the
to,
boat.
what does the volume of the water have to do in anything? The water could be
Because you're
2
talking
miles
about a
deep
small
or 2
boat.
feet
You're talking
deep.
about a small boat with a little volume moving away from you. The water that's in front of you in the foreground has much larger volume. And that, because of your limited field of view and the way things, I mean, it's just the way perspective works. Like I said, if this
It's
X,
the way perspective
Hold on,
works,
hold on.
but you
okay,
you-
so you're not
you
gonna
can't
listen. You're not
describe
gonna
it.
listen.
Yeah.
Hey,
go ahead.
can I
Describe
can I share my screen?
What? Say again? Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. We'll get over there real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me know when y'all can see me. I forgot. Do I need to click on? I need to click on my screen or something.
The share screen and then all that. I'm
Wow.
present. You're presented to everyone now.
Okay. I'll press screen share.
Yeah.
All right. Can y'all see me?
It's
Nope.
you're still your avatar. Hit the green and make sure at the top you put present.
Okay. I see. I need to
Yeah.
hit share. There we go.
Yeah.
Can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I know y'all seen this before, probably. You see this football field, right?
Oh, wait. Hang on. There you go. Everyone's seeing it now.
See the guy walking?
Yep.
All right. See how his feet are starting to disappear?
Yep.
okay. And I
Hang
agree
on.
with this because
Hang on. Let him finish.
perspective wise.
No, not perspective.
Okay, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
But that field is not round.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
That fill is not flat. It does that for drainage. What you're looking at is a simulation
That's
of what the curve does as well.
no,
Yes,
no.
I have graded, I have graded, I have done,
No,
I've been on so many football fields, and I can walk to a football field in 10 minutes.
No, if that football field was flat, it would be a
He's
puddle
walking to
when
the
it rains.
goalpost. There's no way he's walking the sideline.
That's what the drainage is from sideline to sideline.
No, it's not. It goes to the end zones as well.
So you're saying that field where he's at is 3 feet lower.
He's
than where
not
he
3
started.
feet. He's nowhere near 3 feet.
I mean, it's at his knees. Well, let's say two
Can't
and
even
a half.
see his legs. What are you talking about?
I can tell you. I can tell you. Okay, how about this? I can go live in 20 minutes from a football field and show you exactly why that is. I'll turn the camera 360 because if you turn the camera 360s, you would see how it bows for drainage. I can show you. I'll find plans if you like me to. I can tell you right now. That's
Hey,
drainage.
Does it
Sean,
go
even
sideline to
if
sideline or end zone to end zone?
It goes
even
all
if
four
his
ways.
is flawed, I think it shows a great point.
So half
When
his
the
body.
camera, wait, listen, when the camera, notice how the camera is on the ground.
Yeah.
So he
That doesn't matter.
so
That
he would
doesn't
appear to
Doesn't matter.
disappear from the bottom up. If the camera was a
Wait,
above his head,
time out. If it doesn't matter, hang on. If it doesn't matter, then how is it the higher up you go, the more you see?
Because
That's
less
a
of your
natural thing that happens, man.
a natural thing that happens. It
Look,
has
listen,
why does it
physiology
happen?
have a wider
Curvature.
field. I've told you.
Sean, this is like a bipartisan thing. Like
It's no, it's not. Hang on. If you see higher, if you see more, the higher up you go, then obviously the lower you go, the less you would be able to see. Am I wrong?
Right?
Am I wrong?
So
So
you disagree that the higher you go, you have a wider field of.
No, the higher you go, the more you answer his
So the
question.
angle doesn't increase the higher.
no. Your field of view doesn't change. You can see further, but you don't see any further out.
Okay, maybe I'm speaking wrong with field of view, but
You
does
don't-
your
you don't
angle
see-
increase? Does your angle increase the higher you go?
yeah, it's
Wait,
more
what?
about the angle.
Does it increase or not?
The higher up you go, yes, you're able to see further over the curve. Yes,
Hold on, why are we saying curve?
because that's what you're seeing
Let's say
over.
we on a flat.
Okay.
we on a flat
How about
field.
this? Okay, let me.
Nah, go back. I mean, stay on this video because I think this is great. Man.
Do you know how hard it would be to
explain
simulate a
explain
flat
it.
Earth to actually
No.
prove this?
So what you're saying is, I'll make this picture, this X thing again, but I want to show you something real quick, just because of what you're saying. So, if we're on a, where is that picture? There it goes. I'll do it from here. So if we're
If you
on a
walk
flat
that same
ground, right?
distance-
Hang on. If we're on a flat ground, like you guys are saying, and this is a person, and I know it doesn't look like a person. I don't care. You get the point.
John, we can't see your screen.
Oh well.
I need to stop sharing or something.
No, I can do it. Hang on 1 second.
We're coming back to this now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
On my
Just
screen.
one thing on the football field. If you put that on a flat barge on water, where it was actually flat, then you wouldn't see him disappearing that much.
Man, y'all saying that because of drainage, the drainage system.
No.
it
Even
is
perspective. Even with
3
flat
feet,
Earth
3, 4
perspective,
feet
you
disappear.
wouldn't see him disappear that much.
Okay, look.
So are you saying this field
Y'all
is
need to
curving
stop.
3 feet?
No, we're
It's-
saying
I can
there's
tell
a
you
little
right
bit of
now.
perspective,
All
but
right.
most of it's
Matter of
drainage.
fact, I'll tell you right now.
At least 3
I'll tell
feet
you.
of his body
I
is-
will tell you right now, 100% exactly how much is curving. If you give me
Okay.
5 minutes tops.
I'm with you, Sean G. I'm with you. We're gonna get to the bottom of this today. Somebody gonna be wrong.
Hey man, I think that was a great piece of evidence you brought forward, brother. That was a great
bro,
piece of
I mean, But you can prove to me that this field is curving 3
Like
feet.
yeah,
man.
the drainage is 3
He
feet.
never said it was curving 3 feet. He said that what his point was, even on a flat surface, it wouldn't disappear that much. By your own calculations, your own perspective calculations, he shouldn't be disappearing that much.
What
You
is our
agree?
contradiction? What are you talking about? We
Do
didn't
you,
say
guys
we didn't.
do you guys have a perspective angle perspective formula?
I ain't got no
There,
form.
now there is as far as angular size, there is, and there
So,
probably is.
so if you run that formula on that guy, shouldn't his
offhand.
angular size appear bigger
Say it
on a
again.
platter?
What'd you
I
say?
can prove it. If you
Okay.
if you run the calculations for angular size
Matter
on
of
that guy on the football field, he should appear bigger.
Look, you guys can see the calculator.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I even did the calculator on the share screen. Do you see that number 3? The reason there is 3 feet between what you're appearing to see, and I give or take, it's going to be give or take because I don't know the exact drainage they're doing. I did it at the average drainage that I would have done any drainage on a schoolyard or a track and field, which is 1%. 1% fall in both directions from halfway on the field.
I played football.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen no drain in the middle
Well,
of football.
at 300, okay, listen.
Broken all over the field.
At 300 feet, 1% is minuscule. That means for every, or I'm sorry, 1/100th of a tenth. So for every 100 feet, you're only dropping a half a tenth. Do you know how big a tenth is? A tenth is just a little over an inch. That drainage is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Go to any football field and show me different.
On
So you're saying
1%,
it's hold on, wait.
It's
Wait,
at
wait,
it's at
Hold on,
100%.
Hold on.
John,
Yes.
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You're saying that there's a drainage right in the middle of the field, and the water is flowing to that drain because of the.
It flows
dirt.
away from the top, from the center of the
He's
field.
saying that the
No,
way they
the
design
water
football
don't flow
fields.
to the drain.
He's saying that's the way they design football fields if a 1%
Any field.
gradient
Yeah, I
in
understand. that.
either direction.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a gradient. It gradually flows to that drain. The water naturally does that, right?
Yes, it flows.
Based
It
off of how
flows
they
to its.
design
So what's stopping it from doing it say when I work on the water, man. The shit's not flowing down no curve. So if it's doing that on the
It's
football
not
field,
the
that
same
you
thing.
claim,
It's not the same thing.
I mean, you're claiming it's curving, right?
It's
Why
not.
would it?
And,
why
thing.
would
and
it
you're
be
claiming
flowing
the
down
curve
over?
is making the water flow to that drain, right?
And
Y'all
that
need to
drains
stop.
around.
Y'all
That
need to
drains
stop
around
this
the
nonsense.
football field.
Stop the nonsense.
Okay, so here's one. This field is drains in one direction, but I can show you all the measurements and everything that's gone it. Give me
Now,
one
all-
second.
So I've looked this up, and all the ones I looked up is always from sideline to sideline.
Nope.
There might be a.
This run runs to end zone. Hang on, I'm bringing it up right now. So this one runs from one end zone, slopes down to the other end zone at 1%. 1%. There, right there. It says right at the top. Typical athletic field drainage layout.
So I guess the next question. So that would cause half of someone's body to be obstructed.
Yes, if he's at one side or even at the 20-yard line to the end zone would do that.
Because a football field is 100 yards. Correct?
Yep.
No.
Yes. What? 100. I'm sorry. You know what? He is right. He is right.
So a football field
It's
is
100
100 yards.
It's 100. It's
Wait.
it's 120.
120 yards.
It's 120.
Okay. So, well, let's just say it's 100 yards for simple calculations. At a 1% gradient, it should be disappearing 1 foot every 100 feet.
Yes.
So a yard is 3 feet.
Mhm.
So if you have 300 feet, which is 100 yards, you should be disappearing 3 feet over a 1% gradient. What do we see
Alright.
in the video? 3 feet.
Exactly
Alright,
that.
So if I'm standing on the right side of this end zone, and I pour some water, right? It's gonna flow all the way to the other side. Right?
No, because there's some
It-
because
It needs enough
grass
water.
absorbs it.
So-
The reason they put in this drainage is so
Forget
that
the
it
grass,
doesn't
man.
puddle up.
Forget the grass. Forget the grass.
You need enough water.
You
Okay.
got a drainage there for a reason.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. But for the buildup of water
So
to
forget
drain
the
off,
grass.
one
So that
cup of
doesn't
water will
puddle
not
up.
drain off.
In the middle of the football field.
I mean,
If it was
do
flat, it
you,
would puddle up.
do you really think this football field here is doing that in all directions, man?
Yes, that's graded. I do that for a living. Yes, it does that.
Most football fields don't do that, man.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where you.
This
found
says a
that knowledge.
typical athletic field. I'll go right now. I'm just
I gotta see that.
okay. Look here. Here you go. Here, look. Here you go. There you go. I'll
Well,
Google it. This is my Google search right here. Football field drainage design. Which image? Any image you pick will show you. The red line is the higher. The blue line is lower. I'll
That's
find it.
sideline to sideline.
That one is. Let's go to another one.
Yeah.
Look, this one is end zone to end zone. Let's go to another one.
Let me see it.
The last one I just did. This one.
End zone to end zone.
End
Yeah.
zone to end zone. Okay, so the next one. End zone to end zone. Oh, this is just a graphic showing the different directions. Okay, this one goes to corner. Look, this one goes to corner, and I said from the very beginning, it changes. It's not the same. But
I'm saying, Sean, I'm saying, bro, you haven't showed me one that went end zone to end zone yet.
What are you talking about? I've showed you. Look, here's one. End zone.
Making here is that water flows. If it's
That's
on
end zone.
If it's on any type of slope like that, it's gonna flow. So if
he's
the
not
earth is curving, what's stopping it from flowing?
Wait,
No,
what's?
you don't understand how gravity works.
Do you know how drain? You know, hang on, time out. Stop. This is basic. This is, you guys know exactly how drainage works. So if the middle of the field is a crown, we all know exactly how it's going to drain. We know how much it takes to drain. A glass of water is not draining anywhere. We know how drainage works.
So it's contained. So the water's contained.
What does it have to do with drainage? What does it have to do with how wide it's drained? You're asking me.
How you gonna have it both? How you gonna say it's contained, it's curving, it's doing all this stuff, but it's not flowing?
Because I'm a grading operator. I do that for a living. You cannot tell me that that's got graded to do that.
On a gradient level, and it doesn't flow.
No,
it does flow off the field.
You're changing the subject.
Oh yeah, big time.
You're changing the subject. He's referring to the man disappearing over the over the horizon.
Yeah,
in
on
the
a
football
flat surface.
in the football field video.
So say it's a basketball court. Let's go to another sport. It's a basketball court.
But it wasn't. You showed us a guy on the field.
It wasn't a basketball court though.
And a basketball court, hang on. Here's the thing: a basketball court, you will see that, Penny, because the basketball court is not built for any kind of drainage.
The point is putting something on a flat surface.
Okay, a basketball court is a flat surface. A football field is not.
Okay, so on a basketball court, I have a penny, and this penny I'm standing up on the ground, and you can see Abraham Lincoln.
You can lay it down, and you'll still see it.
I move this penny all the way down to the other end of the basketball court.
Still see it. Why? Because it's flat.
You gonna see the whole thing?
Pretty much, yeah. It's flat.
If you put your eye on the ground and look at that penny,
I promise you, you'll see.
And I move it away from you.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because the court isn't very long. 1, 2. That court is built to be flat. So if you want to use a basketball court, please do, because every observation you get will be exactly what you expect to see on a flat earth. Here's the problem. You will not be able to observe any of those same observations off that basketball court.
I mean, I've seen it. So you're telling me if I lay a camera on the ground,
a basketball court on a basketball court on a basketball court.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I got a small camera. I got a 1-inch camera. I'm gonna do it.
Perfect.
Please do. I've seen it done already, so I don't know what Sean's talking about.
Can you find it?
I mean, the thing is, this is not even a flat Earth, globe Earth.
Well, see,
it
is 100%. Because what happened is
the table of the man disappearing.
You brought
whether the Earth is a globe or flat perspective.
Time out. No. It is. You did. You said, and you brought a video of a guy legs disappearing as he walked over a football field. And I told you the reason that's happening is drainage, the way the field is graded. And you said, wait. Let's go to a basketball court. A basketball court is built differently. So you're already jumping from the subject.
I don't believe the field that I showed you. I don't believe that is.
Okay,
draining.
wait, time out. So are you telling me? Are you telling me the same? The same observation that you saw that man on the football field just now. You're gonna see the same thing on a basketball court.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it.
Are you gonna do it? You're gonna do it, right? You're gonna do it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
I'm gonna do it. That's my word, man.
No. If you say you're gonna do it, I trust that you're doing it. I'm not worried about that.
I didn't say a person walking away. The
No,
100
no,
yards,
no.
120
But
yards
guess
is
what?
a lot.
That penny,
Hold on. Is
the
the
penny
basketball
should
court
disappear.
120
The
yards,
penny
Sean?
should disappear
Why?
because,
Because of perspective.
yep,
Even if
perspective.
it's not that long.
Basketball court was long enough, it would disappear.
Okay,
You're right.
okay.
You
See,
see,
confined. With that reasoning, if the basketball court is one third of the length of the football field, then you should be able to see 1 foot of the man disappear.
No. Now the football field has grass on it too, right?
Why would the grass make a difference with the height of the man?
Y'all go ahead and do the math for how
If you
much.
put the man on
how
the
much
basketball
that
court,
on,
with your
bro.
reasoning,
was supposed to disappear.
how
Go ahead
long's a
and do the math.
basketball court?
Since y'all want to invoke math into this, go ahead and do
Yes.
the math on how much of that man was supposed to disappear
Listen,
on that football field. Go ahead and do
Oh,
the math.
It's not-
basket.
I just, no, wait, time out. I just did. And from end to end,
No.
it would be almost 3 feet.
No, I mean, I don't believe that field is draining like that.
Are you
we
serious?
should
I
be
just
able to
showed
see-
you a dozen things of exactly this. I'll do it
Oh,
again.
most football fields don't drain like that. I'm not gonna say 100%. None
Okay,
of them do.
look. So
But
here's
when I look
one.
this up, most
Here-
of them drain from sideline to
You
sideline.
would have
Here's-
to pull up
here's-
that football field. He's
here's
right. You
one.
would have to pull up that specific.
Look,
football
here's
field.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go to each picture.
Okay.
I mean, not all of them are gonna have that same design, but I'm gonna. If you think that I'm nitpicking the picture, see this one. It goes side to side at 1 to 1.75% of a slope. That is nowhere near flat. You can see the hump in it right now.
But we're not. He's going from sideline to sideline.
Okay,
That's
that
why-
field is. Again, I never said they all go the same. Never once.
I'm saying most of them don't.
See,
Okay,
all
that
three
doesn't
linemen
matter.
are
It
Sean
does-
is grading for a living. How
It
would
does
you
not
know
make
that?
a difference. I'm
How
telling
would
you right
know
now,
that?
they're not
Sean's
all the
one to
same.
ask if you want to know.
Not only have I told you, but I'm
Wait.
showing you this. It's right there. Look, some do, some don't. Some
Yeah,
are.
the
Look.
pictures-
Here's the best part.
Sean, look.
Here's the best part.
Exactly.
See the percentage? The percentages are different too. They're different, but there's
Yeah,
one
that's
thing.
sideline to sideline.
Okay,
Sean.
you're right. And I told you, they're different. How come this one isn't? Or how come the one I showed you before isn't? Or any other one that I showed you before that?
Oh man, you just showed me a whole bunch of them that's going sideline to
Yes, I
sideline.
did. And I
That's
also
what he
showed you.
showed you.
I also showed you a whole bunch that went end zone to end zone. Look, see, there's one end zone to end zone. It goes back and forth. I never said there was only one type. Never once. Matter of fact, here you go. All right, that's a watering tiff. No, sorry about that. It's not the one I thought it was. That one goes. Look.
The water flows-
This
the
one.
water
Look, this
flows
one.
on
Look,
that.
this
Why
one.
is it not-
Look. This one falls to only one side, not side to side, one side. So that's different from even what you said. Look, I'm trying to show you guys. It changes.
My
I never
homeboy
once.
Sean,
I never
have a
once.
shot.
Look, here's another
he's
field.
on.
No, hang on. You're saying to me that all fields go side to side, and I'm showing you both. I've
Oh, I
said.
didn't say that. I didn't say
Okay.
that, no.
Okay. I never said
I
that they
really
didn't
don't-
go
I'm not
side to
gonna
side.
put myself
You were
next to
saying
him.
you were saying the field in the video goes side to side, but we
What
can
I'm
do.
saying is most football fields go from side to
Well,
side.
I can
if
tell
they
you
have
now.
that
How would
drainage.
you
Okay.
know that?
Hang on.
How would
but
you know that?
guess what?
I've
You
looked them
cannot.
up.
Look, you can't say.
And I can't
When
find.
did
I
you
Hang
haven't
on.
found one
I-
of them
I'm-
on the end zone.
Look,
I
I'm
haven't
doing
found
it. I just showed you a bunch right now. I'm showing you them going in all directions right now.
one. Show me one right now, man. Show me one right now.
Okay. There's one that goes one way.
Okay, sideline to sideline.
That one goes to end zone.
That's sideline to sideline.
No, you can see the direction of the drainage.
It's going sideline to sideline at a diagonal.
Here goes one.
It's not
No,
going-
you don't. No, see, you're not a drainage expert. Sean
Look,
is.
look,
Sean
right here.
does this for a living.
Here's one that goes in
So-
one
Sean is not a
direction.
drainage expert.
Oh, wait, what?
You never
Sean-
told me that.
Oh, 100%. I
Sean,
can
don't
show
you
you
do
right now.
grading for a living?
I'm a grading contractor. That's what I do for a living. I grade baseball fields. I grade
Hey,
parking lots.
Sean, you're my homeboy, but I don't
Okay.
do that appeal to authority thing. I need to see
Oh, no,
some
no.
proof.
Okay, right here. Look, I'll show you right now.
You know me.
Question. That
Sean, do you want-
gradual slope you're showing on all of these fields, just a little gradual decline like that is going to make the water flow, right?
Yes.
1%.
Yep. Absolutely.
Depends on how much
So
water.
naturally, the water, if it's on a slope,
It
will
drains.
flow.
All drains. It's called drain.
1%
It's not.
that's
It's not called.
sideline to
It's not called
sideline.
drain.
It's not
It's not called.
100 yards.
Huh? Say again.
What you've shown is sideline to sideline. I can't let you get away with it,
Wait,
man.
it
I haven't
drains
seen
from
it yet.
one end to the other in sheets. The top, the middle is a crown. That's 100% everything I've said. It's how it's done.
A crown that's going from sideline to sideline. Now,
No, it go. For
what
instance,
I'm trying to get, man.
this one right here,
down
go the
middle of
crown
field is flat.
Hey, Fred.
is look right here. The crown is the middle of the field, right down the middle, right?
Right. And he was walking down the
Okay,
middle
look.
of the field.
Now
So
look.
his
On a
elevation didn't
field.
change from
On a
end zone to end zone, is what he's saying.
look.
Exactly.
So, are you telling me this one has the same crown?
He walked in a straight
Hang on.
line from
I'm
end zone
asking.
to end zone.
I'm asking you.
Down the
Does it
middle.
mean that this in this image right here, is there a crown in this image, or in this football on this field that drains in one direction to the side? Is there a crown
How
there?
else would it drain if it was flat, though?
I'm asking you. It's
exactly
not.
flat.
It's not
How
flat.
else would it drain?
It says right
So the
there.
whole field is tilting towards.
It says, yep, it's all draining to one side at 1 to 1.5%.
Sean, this
Okay.
conversation is going nowhere, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off.
All right, no worries. I'm about to end it anyway. I'm
Yep.
getting late, and I gotta get my son to bed anyway. But guys, there is no way you can say that your argument is there's that guy disappeared behind nothing. You said you guys. I'm trying to argue that and tell you the reason that happened is because the field is designed for drainage, which actually is better for you because it's not the distance of a curve, but it's just how it's drained. And you've made your argument that it goes sideline to sideline, regardless sideline to sideline, because at the same time that crown goes in any direction. When you're looking at this field, where it goes side to side in different directions, that crown is there. The last picture we looked at, there is no crown.
End zone to end zone.
No, that's not flat. It's
But
not.
your argument has to be that specific field was
Nope.
not
It can
going
be, and
sideline.
I can tell you right now, every field is designed in whatever way for drainage that person wants that paid for it. But no matter what, I can tell you now, every football field, baseball field, soccer field, outdoor field is designed to have drainage. Whereas
that's a straw man. We
it's
weren't
not a
arguing.
straw man. It is okay. You were arguing it because you were saying that why was that guy disappearing? You said perspective.
No.
It wasn't perspective. It was because
Do you
of
know
how
for
the
a fact
drainage
that
was.
drainage system
Yes.
is not sideline
I'm
to
100% know that that field that you guys showed us, the drainage is end zone to end zone because he disappeared on that drainage. I look at that every day. If you want proof, I can show you all my work stuff, everything. I've been doing this since I was a baby. That's how long I've been doing this.
I want the proof. I don't care if my mama tell me something. I want some proof. I don't care who tell me anything,
Tell me
man.
right
I
now.
need proof. I don't care if you've been doing it for 200 years, man. I want to see some proof, or what is it? Am I gonna take your word for it?
I would hope so, but
me and you cool. We cool.
oh yeah, no,
but
I get it. And here's the
need
thing.
proof.
Here's the thing. I don't mind showing you.
All right. I mean, I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm not saying you lying or not.
I know.
I would like to, for
You
my
like-
own benefit, I would like to see it. I think you're wrong. 'Cause I've looked into
What
this,
could I
and
was I wrong
none
about?
of my team have went from end zone to end zone.
Wait, what do you think? What do you? I'm just showing you that this is what I do for a living. What do you?
No, okay. I've known you for a minute, Sean. I never heard you bring that up. I know you did survey.
Oh yeah, that's great checking. Great
But,
great
you're
checking
not-
is surveying on a small note.
Right. Okay.
All right, it is what it is as far as I guess the perspective thing comes.
Okay, but Freeman said he was going to do that observation. I hope he still does.
So I'm gonna do it.
Okay, because it's not the same. You're not going to get the same result that you did on that field.
No, of course not. I mean,
course.
the basketball field is not going to be as long as a football field, but
Right.
I can show you where things are going to be hidden on a flat surface.
Okay.
just by somebody going away just because of distance and perspective and the fraction rate and the limit and all that, man, that ties
Yeah,
into
Sean, if you were like floating in fake space and you didn't have a floor under you and something was going away from you, it would disappear and you will only see it disappear. Angular like resolution and it would get smaller as it goes away. But because you have a floor under you, that rises up and takes the bottom of things as the distance increases.
and I can explain sunsets. The same thing.
How?
Sunsets is doing the same thing from my observation. I'm
Okay.
not saying
Is there a
I
way
know
for you
what's
to like make
going
like
on.
an illustration to show me these? Because I don't see it, so I just can't grasp it.
Because once you get this, Sean, then you'll start to understand how a sunset could work.
I would love to. I'm telling you
You
right now.
still ain't answer my spin question, so I don't see how you grasping that.
Okay.
I'm still that's still a question I
Wait.
got for you. So.
Well,
Yeah.
it's I've explained it. Look, see, there I go. That's me as a kid. Look, this is me. This is me. My first dozer. I'd grade for. Hang on, where's the hell? There you go. See that? That was my first dozer. That was in 2004. This is what I do for
I
a
don't
living.
think we can see it. But I'm not, I'm not
No,
saying.
no, I'm just saying. This is what I've been doing my whole life. It's just it's. I mean, I get what grading to a T. It's what I've done for 25 plus years. It's all I've done. It's in my blood so much that my son has done it. My son knows how to run a machine. My son at 5 years old.
I believe you, Sean, but with all due
Look,
respect, I mean, you can talk to you blue in the face, man. I want to see some. I got
that picture. That picture right here. That's my son driving that. That's how long I've been in construction doing grading. Even my son, it's in my son's blood. That's how much. I know what grading and drainage and all of that stuff goes through.
All right, bro, we got to this show and tell, show and prove, man.
It's impossible for somebody to disappear bottom up as they walk away from you
On a flat
surface.
On a flat surface.
That's impossible.
Got the claim?
That's impossible.
Yeah. Okay, look. I'll say it again because I said this earlier. The same thing with the boat. It will become an ant. More, and you'll lose it before you lose it from the top up. You'll be an ant.
You're not taking a deflection limit in
Well,
mind when you're
how much of that limit is there on a basketball court though? That's not very far. We've already established that it's not a big field.
And I never said the penny would disappear. I'm just saying it's going to start disappearing bottom up as you go down that court.
It's gonna. I bet you it gets. I bet it gets too tiny to see.
No. Hey, Sean, have you seen the videos where people have been in grocery stores?
Right.
Or
Well, I hate to. I hate to break it to you. Hey, hang on. Hey, I want to let you know, just so you know, and you're gonna hate me for this. Grocery store floors, drainage.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Every single one. Not one building you live in, not your house.
That's
nothing
true.
is
They all
at
have
zero.
drains.
Nothing is at zero. It's all drains. Every last one of them. Every one of them, my friend.
I gotta look that up.
Look it up. I'm telling you right now, it's for drainage. You can't. If you poured concrete flat and it got wet, the water would sit on it and it would destroy it. It has to drain. Even your foundations are not at zero.
That's true. When they build foundations, they do put.
It's just the way it is. You can't go around it. But fellas, I'm at that time. My son has to go to bed, so I got to get him to bed. I enjoyed it. I'm happy that you guys came on because I can actually have these conversations, and we can have this conversation again later.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, Sean.
Yeah. More.
Still
Hey.
ain't answer my question.
No. Okay. I'm gonna work on. No. You know what? I'm gonna work on that because I don't want to try and not have a pure grasp on how to explain it because I know how to explain it, but I know it's got to be a special way to explain it to you.
Well, all I'm saying is that's one of the first things I would need explained to me before I say.
Well,
shit.
Okay, so free-minded. All right, you're.
Yep.
Oh, I see you. Oh, you're.
I'm here.
Oh, my bad. Look, so you're gonna do your observation. I'm not saying
Yes,
you have
sir.
a deadline, but you know about when.
it'll be in a timely, it should be the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
My son play ball, so
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
I'm about to sneak on there and drop it because I got a 1-inch camera that I throw on my drone sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what kind of camera you're talking about. Those little square
And
ones,
put
right?
that penny flat on the ground and move it
Flat on the
away,
ground.
all the way down.
Flat, stand it
Probably
up.
would do
I
something.
would, if I were you, I'd do multiple. Standing up, flat.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise it up and
Half the court, the whole nine. I mean, it's going to be what it is. It's not about what I want it to be or not want it to be, vice versa.
Right.
Guys, I got to get going. But Free Minded, so you can find, this is your guys' home. Anytime you guys want to be on this panel, you're more than welcome, no matter what.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right.
Yep.
I'll holler at y'all later.
Yep.
All right, bro.
Yep.
All right, peoples. I do appreciate you guys listening in. I'm sorry I wasn't in the chat at all, but it does happen, and it does happen to me frequently. But next time I'll look at it a little bit more. I do appreciate everybody that was here. You guys, again, the reason I even do this, it's passion to me now. I couldn't imagine not doing it, basically. So, with that said, I'll try to go on tomorrow. Try to go on the next day, but I definitely will be back. All I ask, keep it respectful, explaining things to people. Remember that not everyone thinks alike, not everyone understands things alike, not everyone is on the same page as everyone. Any discussion can be had without being personal. Any discussion there is, period, can be had without being personal. Let's keep it respectful, people.
Line standing, solitary, mind state, kinda scary. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and put me on the front line. 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 Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. Hold strong. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. I'm battle tested. Follow me until the end. Follow me if you can. Heart beating faster. Don't forget to breathe and put me on the front line. Put me on the front line. Put me on the front line. Put me on the front